now joining me, we have Charlie and Marette, and we are going to be talking a little bit about Appalachian State University's Diversity Celebration, which is really just a few days away, coming up on Tuesday, a very exciting event. Thank you both so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Now, Charlie, give us a little bit of background information about the Diversity Celebration for our viewers who may have never been.
The Diversity Celebration started back in 2002, and it's been ongoing since then. It was a merger of a community effort called the Unity Festival, and they decided to merge them all together and start a festival in 2002 to try to open people's minds to the different cultures that are there in the world, and to give people here in the high country who've never experienced some of these things a chance to be able to come and enjoy food, music, crafts, and just see what the world's like in other areas. And to also help, we have a lot of international students we bring in at ASU every year, and in a lot of the different cultures people don't understand, and this is a way for them to understand cultures, and maybe we can all live in harmony together and be, you know, a more unified group with people understanding each other and not being so scared of, you know, what's that culture and I don't understand. So I think it's really eye-opening for everybody to be able to share and see and learn.
Absolutely. It sounds like a great way to kind of build a sense of community through our differences.
It is.
Fantastic.
It really is.
Now, what are some of the specifics that go into the Diversity Celebration?
We have a committee that meets for a year, and we work on different areas. Mine is food, so I'm on the food committee, and we plan the food. And then there's a performers committee who arranges all the different entertainers you're going to see and have. And then there's a group that heads up the Unity Festival and all the crafts there. And so it's just everybody comes together once a month, and we talk about what we've all been putting together, and we just kind of all tie it together with the performers and the crafts and the food, and we just make it to where there's a lot of different things and a lot of different worlds represented. And we love to use local people. We don't like to go off the mountain if we can, and very far if we can help it, because we like for people to see that there's these people living right here. And we also focus on mountain culture too. So you can get an experience of the way things used to be around here years ago, and you know, some of it's being lost sadly, and some of us, like Marette and I, were raised in a lot of this mountain culture, and it's a good way for kids to see what it used to be like, that, you know, some of the things that have gone away over time.
Absolutely.
So.
Very important. Now, you guys may recognize Charlie because he's actually been on MTN before talking a little bit about some of the delicious food that's going to be served this year. Talk with us a little bit about the finalized menu for Tuesday. Okay.
We are doing a Palik Pentir, and apologize in advance if I butcher some of these names. As the chef and I said before, we do the best, and we try to make it authentic, but sometimes we do, you know, butcher some of the names. But it is a Spanish fritter. It's an Indian dish. It's a lot of spinach, and it's deep fried, and it's very delicious.
That's good.
Then we also have a yakitori, which is a Japanese dish, and it's going to be chicken on a stick, and it is in a Japanese sauce that's ginger and soy and sake, and it's a really delicious delicious Japanese dish. And then we're going to do agua de fresca, which is a Mexican drink. It's a very refreshing drink. It's actually made out of cantaloupe. You can use any fruit you want, but we're going to do cantaloupe. And it's just they use it a lot just to cool off in the afternoons, because it can be very hot. One of the other dishes we have is a murmara, which is a Turkish or Syrian dish, and it's made with it's a pepper dip, and you use lavish crackers, or you use pita points or any kind of pita chip to dip it in. And it's a little spicy, but it's not too much. It's just enough to give it a good taste and a good bite to give you some good flavors. I will point out that these dishes are all to be eaten with your hands, and it's more street food, because we want to be as authentic as we can be with these dishes. We also have a dessert. They're called besitos de coco. They're Puerto Rican. They're called coconut kisses. So they're a coconut ball drizzled in chocolate. And we have done these in the past, and they have been so popular. People have begged and begged for us to do them again, and so here we are about 4 years later, and we've brought them back.
All
and
right.
so, if people have had them, we're going to have them again. And if you haven't, you can come and see why people want to have these over and over again, year after year. The last thing we're doing is a hard polenta cake. If you have any Italian descent, you will know that polenta is very popular in Italy. It is fried cornmeal essentially, or some form of cornmeal, usually with cheese in it. They typically serve it at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They don't need a reason. They have polenta cakes. So when you look at it, some people looked at it, and if you're from the mountains here and you've had potato cakes, some people looked at them and thought, those look like potato cakes. So, but it is made from cornmeal and generally cheese, and it's an Italian dish. And those are the dishes that we're offering up this year, and hopefully people will find something they like, or they'll like all of it. So.
Well, first of all, I think you did a great job with those names. I don't think I could have pronounced any of that. Secondly, I think it may have been a bad idea to do this interview right before lunch. I'm a little bit hungry now. Sounds like some great food. Now, will the food be served the entire time, or is there a special time that people need to head to that section?
We serve from 3 to 9. We serve for the whole duration. We make sure there's food there all day, so you don't have to rush through anything. You can come and enjoy food whenever you want to. You can come, have some, go see some of the festival, and then come back and get some more, because we should have plenty. We try to make sure there's at least a tasting for everybody, so we want to make sure it lasts all night, so that everyone that's there can have a shot at everything and try it.
Absolutely. Now, I know we talked a while back at the tasting. Talk with our viewers a little bit about the process that goes into planning this menu. There's a lot that goes into this.
It is. We, the chef and I, Dan McDonald, he usually starts around Christmas time looking at different things, looking at different cultures. As I said, we try to look for authentic street food, things can be eaten with your hands, because we want this to be sustainable.
Right.
The room I'm in is completely waste-free. Everything can either be composted or recycled, so that because we wanted it to make a 100% waste-free event in there, and so we have to take that into consideration, because you're going to have to eat with your fingers, because we don't really provide the forks, because we don't have a good way to compost or to reuse the forks and collect them. So he has to do that in mind, and then he talks to me about it. We take it to the committee and share it with them. We try to focus on different regions. He tries to cover different areas all across the world, so that there's a representation of different countries and cultures. And we try to switch it up. We try not to have a country that we've represented in the past year. We try not to do it again if we can help it. So then after that's all put together and we take it to the committee, we have a tasting, which you were able to come to, which we were very glad that you were able to come and get some pictures of all the food and see Dan talk about all the different foods and cultures, and to get a sampling of what we were able to offer. And then the committee gives us feedback of what they thought was good, bad, was it too spicy, was it not too spicy, because we want to remember that there's, not everyone likes things really, bold flavors and spicy. We have younger children that come, we have other people who may have a sensitivity to those types of things, so we want to strike a good balance there. And then we have people in our own kitchen, our other cooks, our employees, who try these dishes as well, and it's a good time for us all to tweak them and make them right. And then the day of the event, we have it as perfect as we can get it, and we try to roll it out. And we look to people on the committee. We have a lady like this year who is Indian, who has had both of the Syrian Turkish dish and the Indian dish, and she said she felt like she was back home again. And she felt like, and that makes us feel good, because when you're doing somebody else's food from another culture, you don't want to disrespect them. You want it to be authentic as possible, and you want people to enjoy it. So.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like some great food. And of course, we've got some great entertainment too. Now, talk with us a little bit about what your role in the diversity celebration is.
Okay. My group is called Country Magic Cloggers, and we're performing 6:30 that evening. And we have some guest dancers coming in with us, the High Country Cloggers. And we're just trying to show the people our mountain culture and our heritage, and just have a good time and let them hear, some folk music and see how clogging has progressed through the years. And it's just a neat time to share with people, because lots of people don't know that clogging is one of the oldest art forms in American history, because when everybody came over to our country, they bought all their native dances, and that sort of developed into clogging as an art form. So it's a neat thing to pass on.
Very cool. So you're representing the mountain culture right here in the mountains.
Trying.
Fantastic. Now, how did you get involved in the diversity celebration?
Charlie helped me. We like to do as much on campus as we can because it is a good outlet. And they have all kinds of dancing and stuff in the festival, so it's neat to be part of that variety and let people see our culture, you know, among all the other new and different things too.
Absolutely. Now, is this your first time being in the diversity celebration?
No, I believe this is my 3rd year.
Okay, awesome. And what can you say about the experience overall being a participant and a performer?
It's great for all ages. I think that's really neat because they bring entertainment that anybody would enjoy, the small children to the teenagers to the college students to the adults. So there's something there for everybody because they'll have the African dance and the belly dancing and some of the younger kids doing their popping and all that stuff. You know, it's just a really neat experience for everybody to see all the different ways that people express themselves through dance.
Very cool. Now, how much practice has gone into preparing for this performance?
A little bit, because you're what? We've been preparing for several weeks, so it'll be fun.
Sounds great. Well, it sounds like lots of performances lined up throughout the day. Wonderful.
It's been great. We have a lot of great. I think people will find something that they can enjoy, and whether it's singing, dancing, crafts are very big. The henna tattoos are huge. We had to move them to another room just because it can be so big.
They need a room of their own.
We literally put them in a room of their own because everybody wants the henna tattoos.
Because I went by twice last year and there was too long of a line.
It's very popular. So we gave it its own room this year so that maybe we can make it a little speedier and people can get through and they can enjoy other aspects. So
absolutely. Now, is there any kind of theme that I guess we should be aware of as far as where things are located? Are there going to be maps, or how do
there
people
is.
get around?
You can go online to the celebration.appstate.edu. There's maps that tell you where everything is. Everything is actually in the student union. Perfect. And then when you get to the Plymouth Student Union, you'll be handed a map so you can know which room is which, who's performing on each stage, and what you can find in each of the rooms. There's parking in the decks over on River Street. There will be shuttles running every half hour starting at 2:30 all the way till 9 o'clock, so you don't have to worry about walking. If it's really nasty outside, you can hop in a shuttle and we'll take you. They'll drop you off at the door and they'll bring you back, so you don't have to worry about any of that. And you know you're gonna have to get a voucher to park, but we will validate that voucher, so you don't have to worry about paying for the parking once you get back. So you know once you get over to the celebration, there'll be a place set up where you can get your parking validated. So that's a nice aspect. There's also parking along River Street if we need it. If it overflows and we fill up the parking deck, which would be a great thing. And you'll be seeing a lot of buses parked there because every child pretty much in the after-school program in Watauga County comes. They've been doing this for a while, and it's great for the children of the area. And we're also getting people coming from like Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Charlotte, people who have been here in school who, when they get out and they go into the teaching profession, want to bring their classes back.
Right.
Because they know it's such a good cultural experience. So it's starting to spread all over the state, and it's great having all these children brought and learning stuff that they may not ever see if they hadn't been brought up here to see it. So
definitely. Now, any idea how many people you guys are expecting on Tuesday?
We expect over 2,000 people. We have consistently had over 2,000 people wandering through that building from 3 o'clock till 9 o'clock at night. So we expect to have another big crowd again this year.
Yeah.
We've actually expanded out onto Sanford Mall, all the grass area out there. I'm really excited. I hope I can sneak out there. They're going to do a cricket game.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, so anybody who's never experienced cricket, they're going to be playing cricket right out there on Sanford Mall, weather permitting.
How fun.
So, yeah, I have. It's a very popular international sport. It's almost as popular as soccer and or football overseas. So it'll be interesting to see. So hopefully I can sneak out there and see some of it. So
absolutely, and I want to catch some of that too a little bit. Now, is it nerve-wracking performing in front of this many people?
No, and we're in a ballroom, so people come in and go and stay and watch if they'd like to, or sneak off. So they'll probably, it won't be too crazy. Probably 60 people or something like that.
Little groups at the time.
Yeah, little
All right.
groups at a time.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, this sounds like a fantastic thing. I know I am planning to be there. I'm very excited. So thank you both so much for coming in to talk with us about it.
Thank you
for
for having
having
us. We
us.
really
Yeah.
appreciate the time to be able to sit and speak and tell everybody about it.
Absolutely. And you said 3 to 9 o'clock on
3
Tuesday.
to 9 o'clock on Tuesday.
Plymouth Student
Please,
Union.
we'd love to see everybody.
Absolutely. Everybody plan to head out. And we will be back right after these messages with more of the Mountain Television Network.